What's up, CYBORG? We back, man. Yo, this Anthony Joshua and Dubois fight coming up, man. It got me just going back down memory lane, man. Early memory lane, not too far from right now. You know, just dipping back a fight or two, man. Watching the Dubois and Usyk fight, and you know, I'm actually admittedly a big Anthony Joshua fan, man. I like to see the dude do well. But no hard feelings against Dubois, man. So I'm not really rooting against him. I'm kind of rooting for Joshua, you know what I mean? So it's hard not to do both at the same time, right? If you're rooting for one or the other. But point is, I feel a little bad for the dude, man. Like, I think he should have been champion a minute ago. He's champion now, and Joshua's coming in as a contender. But Dubois should have got that Usyk victory, man. I just watched that fight over again, man. It's just like bring back like you know, like fresh emotions, man. But that night, like Usyk, he got hit so hard in the fucking right in the fucking in the midsection, man. And you know, he wears a high belt. You know, everybody knows that Usyk is kind of famous for wearing a high belt. But the referee, man, I mean, I'm not even blaming it on Usyk. Usyk, you know, he did what he had to do to win. This time it just so happened to be what I would constitute as cheating, but you know, nevertheless, you know, I mean, the man's in there. You never know how the fight's gonna turn out. You never know if you know, doing what Usyk did would not really you know, keep us from seeing Dubois getting away with some shit later on in the fight. So I can get a little bit of the psychology. I know you know, Usyk had to make the decision to just put on a show and act like he was really hit somewhere he wasn't. And you know, the funny thing for me with that fight, man, was that the referee, I don't even think the referee was buying the shit. I think the referee was inventing shit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people say Usyk sold him on the idea that he got hit on you know, and his boys. You know what I mean? But that's not what I saw, man. I saw that the referee, he just wanted to fucking he was just like, he was in a mood, man. He looked like a dude that he just kind of almost wanted that fucking fight to be over. Oddly enough, I don't know why. It's like one of the biggest fights of any referee's night. So, you know, you got the champion and you got Usyk in there. So who the fuck want to hurry that up? You just want to do your job and do a good job and be remembered for being a fair and effective and useful referee, right? But that's obviously not what what I saw as a result of the way the referee behaved, man. This motherfucker looked like he was almost like he was bought and paid for, man. He just reeked of fucking corruption or like a betting guy. You know what I mean? He looked like if the promoters or the judges didn't have him sold up, then the gamblers had this motherfucker tied up, because he just looked like well vested in a Dubois loss, man. And the reason I say that is, for one, Usyk's belt line, I mean, the whole belt was fucking kind of thick, you know what I mean? So it's hard to miss a punch like that from the angle that the referee was standing on, you know what I mean? It's hard to miss a punch like that when you got a dark glove going up against like a completely white, you know, pair of trunks, you know what I mean? So it's almost like from a visual perspective, like, it's just really hard to miss, right? The other part is the referee is significantly shorter than the fighters, which means from his visual vantage point, this motherfucker should have been able to zone in a lot better. Plus, he was in position to really see it the way it happened, you know what I mean? And so that was problem number one, right? There should have been no real plausible reason why he didn't actually see the hit the way it landed. Unless he just had it made up in his fucking mind that hitting a dude on the belt line is below the belt as well. You know what I mean? It can't be fucking both to a logical thinking person, but maybe he just said, fuck it, if Dubois hits the belt or below, we just gonna call it a fucking shot to the nuts or whatever, right? Because that's how he was treating it, that's how he was behaving. The second thing is, Usyk, you know, the referee's also a fucking man. Last most of us checked. When Usyk went down, he never once reached for his fucking balls. When you got gloves on and you got all that fucking protective gear in between your legs. There's no way you can actually touch your nuts, but it has nothing to do with the male instinct to reach down and try to like grab yourself there to like alleviate the pain. You know what I mean? It never fucking works, but that's what we do instinctively. You get hit in the fucking nuts, whether it's by a fucking a dangerous boxer or just you're holding up a little baby and they fuck around and swing their legs too fast and hit you right there. You know what I mean? Like every fucking man reaches down to his fucking balls and any other part of his body that hurts. If a motherfucker hits you in your kidney, you reach for your kidney. You don't fuck around and sit there trying to do fucking Pilates and all that extra shit that Usyk was doing, right? This motherfucker never once reached for his fucking balls. So the referee, in my opinion, he wasn't sold on anything. This motherfucker had already his own little agenda. And I think maybe the dude was probably just betting that night. And he was just like, yo, Usyk's going to take this one. I'm putting all my money on Usyk. And because how could he lose? You know what I mean? You're in a pro Ukraine crowd, and Usyk is the champion, and Dubois is a heavy underdog. So on paper, it all makes sense that Usyk should win. But we all know that with boxing in practice, man, what goes down between the two fighters is what really fucking matters, man. And that's how people get shocked and surprised. You know what I mean? So I liken this to like a Tyson Douglas kind of event, only the reverse. You know what I mean? The underdog was the guy that actually won the fight first, and then he was forced to continue on with a fight that he already won to actually fucking turn out to lose it. You know what I mean? And that's sort of what I saw with this fight, man. But going into the Joshua fight, man, I got Joshua on this one, man. I think as far as like boxing acumen, I think Joshua still is the better boxer. I think he does have more power. Paperwork right now might question that, but not quite really, you know what I mean? Because Dubois is pushing a 95% knockout percentage, right? Whereas Joshua, on the other hand, he's pushing like he's at about 89. But Joshua's got so many more fights in Dubois, and Joshua has 3 losses, but he's really only lost to 2 men. He lost to Usyk twice, and he lost to Andy Ruiz that one time. And then Dubois, he's got a loss accounted for by the Usyk fight, and then Joe Joyce beat his ass before. So the Joe Joyce fight, that one is legit, man. The Usyk thing, man, I think that's he just had a night of bad luck, man. He was fighting against the referee mostly, and then he was fighting against Usyk. So even after he beat Usyk, he had to defeat the referee. And guys, shit, that ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So anyway, on paper he's got 2 losses. You know what I mean? But 95% knockout percentage, and Joshua is pushing the high 80s. So this one should be pretty explosive. I think they both have a good sense of what kind of power they're going to be dealing with, but I think Joshua is just going to be a little bit calmer. He's just been on a big stage for longer, and he's had a lot of big nights, and he's been the underdog quite a bit sometimes, depending on who he's going up against. You know what I mean? So I got Joshua on this one, man. Hopefully it's an explosive fight. And in Dubois, man, like, I'm not necessarily rooting against him, but I'm not rooting for him in this one. But hopefully, for the fans, we just get like a really good fight where, win or lose, both boxers comes out with like a lot more bank in the, in the business, man. So we have a reason to want to look forward to seeing the fight again, regardless of who they're fighting, you know what I mean? Lately, we've been lucky enough to be getting some fights like that, you know what I mean? Like the Virgil Ortiz versus the guy Bohachuk, and then also with Mbili and Derevchenko. So we've got some really good fights this year, and hopefully, with the looming fight of the Berlanga and Canelo fight, we get something really special there. And then definitely this Joshua and Dubois fight, hopefully, for the heavyweight division, that one is like a really like a nice look this year as well. The Jared Anderson, if y'all want to go back and check my video on the Jared Anderson, man, my fucking heart's still broken over that shit, man. But Coley did that boy bad. But hey, I think that was a good learning lesson for Anderson. I think when he comes back, he's going to be a lot more solid. And he's always going to look prettier in the ring than fucking Popoli, because the boy just got style, he got skills. And as long as he just keeps building on that manhood part, like he's definitely going to be something to watch going forward, man. Anyway, check with y'all next time. Peace.